Yo, what's going on YouTube? Charlie Morris back at you with another video. Today we're gonna talk about schizophrenia. Now I have a mental illness, I'm schizophrenic. So, this is just a little bit about it or whatever. So, someone's reading it or, has it, it's okay. It's okay, a lot of people have it. A lot of people deal with some kind of mental illness, no matter if it's schizophrenic, schizoaffective, bipolar, depression, any mental illness out there, someone is dealing with it and it's okay. You can overcome it. There ain't no cure for schizophrenic for what I have, but there's medicine that I can take that will control it. If you're not on the right medicine, you keep having these symptoms, and these symptoms will control you, and, make you, messed up. So you need to find the right medicine that works good for you. Everybody has their medicine that works for them. Like, the first medicine I was on the Abilify. It made me happy, but it absolutely didn't do anything for the voices. For the delusions, for the hallucinations, it absolutely, positively done nothing for me. So, I went back to the doctor and, and I was seeing this one doctor, and the doctor retired, she retired, so they put me on this other doctor, the second doctor I seen. So I went up to the doctor or whatever, and, my mom, at this time, came to me and said, "You're not acting right. You're not Charlie no more. You're out there." It's like, they ain't gonna give you this medicine anymore. I'm gonna go tell them off. You're not you when you're on this medicine. And, so my mom was saying it. People I was working at the time. People are saying, you're not yourself. Know what's up with you. The medicine, after the medicine was making me, like, zone out or, like, pause while stuff is going on around me. So, you have to find the right medicine that works for you. So, my mom, went with me or whatever, and, there was no stopping her. No stopping her. When she makes her mind up that she's going to do something, you just lay back and let her do it. You know what I'm saying? So, she went with me to this doctor, and she basically cussed this doctor out. And the doctor was like, hold up. Like, I don't know anything about what he's on or whatever. So she put me on Zyprexa, a low dose of it. So, that worked better. I was able to get back to myself where I was in touch with reality. Because when I was taken in Vega, I lost touch of reality. It was, in a way, it was making me feel a little bit better. But in ways it wasn't. So, it made me zone out. Now the Zyprexa that I take now, the Zyprexa was very, very good. And, they had to adjust my course because I was still having symptoms or whatever of the voices and everything. So they increased it. 2 times. So I'm taking max dose of it now. And I went and sent it out to the other, and one time, and I was still having symptoms of my schizophrenia. So they put me on Risperidone. Risperidone is working good. With my Zyprexa. Totally hasn't gone either way. I'm still having it. But I'm having it less than I did. And it, I ain't, thinking about it or consider doing anything that, they say it. Always think twice. And I say, well, God want me to do this. And that's what I base my judgment on. My second doctor, she took 'cause she was driving an hour to work and an hour back. She took a job closer to where she lives, which I don't blame her. I don't blame her at all. I want to see the best for someone. And, she's married, she has a kid. So, it'd be good if she was closer to home. I don't blame her. Now, the next doctor I've seen, she was an older woman or whatever. First time I've seen her before, 'cause she's the one that weighs my dose of my Zyprexa and put me on Risperidone. So, she said, like, tell me what's going on with you. And I very broke it down. I said, and I hear voices in my head. I don't just hear a voice. I see a personality. Like, I say, I can see a rich white guy, from Alabama or whatever, talking to me. I can see a black person talking to me from California. I can see a woman talking to me, whatever. I can see, a character, a personality behind a voice or whatever talking to me. And they may tell me to do something that's cool, for them or whatever, from where they're from or what they think or whatever. But, it's hard for me to, say to do it. 'Cause again, I don't do everything I hear. I don't try to do everything I hear. I try to think positive. And, I always saying, well, God want me to do this. Well, God want me to do this. And, I base my judgment on that or whatever. Like, the voices, they make everything sound so good. Like, when I see someone and they give me a look, that voice will be like, punch him in the face. Punch him in the face. And, I have to stop, think, WWJD. WWJD. So I said, no, I'm not going to punch him in the face. And that voice will give me reasons why I should punch someone in the face. Another voice will give me other reasons why I should punch him in the face. And there'll be a bunch of voices, personalities that, are in my head telling me the reasons why I should punch this person in the face or whatever. And, I can sit back and, I'm not, you're wrong. But at the time, the voices can get like, fire me up, get me mad, they know what to say, so I'm mad. So, I start, drifting off and having positive symptoms of schizophrenia. So I explained, my symptoms to her, in detail. Because, I don't feel, if you don't say something in detail about, what's going on, with, everything, your evaluation, they cannot put you on the right medicine. They cannot give you the right treatment plan to help you out. Because, if you don't go into detail, if you just say, I hear a voice or whatever, and you don't say exactly what that voice is saying, you really can't get the help you deserve. So I go in detail when I told her. And she said, you make it so easy to diagnose you or to help you out, give you the right medicine, because you're so detailed. And, you point out the little stuff, and, that's what matters. So, you have to, when you talk to the doctor about your illness, your mental illness, or any doctor, or even a physical, problem or whatever, if you go to the doctor, you have to speak in detail and tell them this is what's going on, this is, how it's affecting me or whatever. And if you do all that, then, the doctor knows what to do and what to treat you. So the doctor, when I first went there, and, seeing the first doctor, they diagnosed me with indifferential schizophrenic. And from that, it's a little bit of each one. It ain't exactly in this paranoid, it ain't in this one, it's a little of all of them put together. So I'm like, cool, I got diagnosed, I know what to do, I know what I got, and I know, and I just gotta beat it. I know I can beat it, I just have to think really, really hard in the right way, how can I overcome it? Okay, people, there is positive symptoms and negative symptoms of schizophrenia. When I say positive, that doesn't mean good. You got yourself, and you got yourself, people, alright? You got yourself. Anything added to that is a positive symptom. Anything taken away from you is a negative. Like, we got hallucinations. Hallucinations, you got something. You got hallucinations. That's a positive symptom. Like, I'd see people. People will be up and they will talk to me, and I'll go to respond to them. I'll say, how's it going, or what's up, or something. They'll disappear, and they look so real that I couldn't tell that the difference between them and the real person or whatever, because they look so real. I have delusions. I believe stuff. I see someone and they'll give me a look, not meaning anything, just a quick glance or whatever, and I think the person is coming after me, or the person wants to do me wrong, or the person's talking about me. I believe all this bad stuff about the person over just a, look. I really believe it. That is a positive symptom. I get extreme paranoia and delusions. That's positive symptoms. Voices are positive symptoms. Attitude is positive symptoms. Cause I will, I'll be sitting and hearing a voice over and over again, and the voice will be talking to me, and I'm quiet, whatever. Sometimes I'm quiet when I'm hearing a lot of voices, cause my subconscious. I have a subconscious, and the subconscious is talking to me. So I have to, when I answer the voice or whatever, I speak. I have conversations with the voice. When the voice is telling me, talking to me about this person, that person, this place, that place. Why I'm not getting mad at someone, why I haven't fought someone, why I haven't, it's like this, and it's troubling. It's troubling when you have positive symptoms, and even to this day I have positive symptoms, or whatever that, I deal with, or whatever. My medicine doesn't help 100%. There ain't no medicine that's gonna make the voices totally go away. But there is medicine that can cut down on them, where you're able to understand that they're not real, or stuff like that. And that's what I think on that one, people. Okay, people, I'm on negative. I have negative symptoms that's taken away. That's like not wanting to go anywhere, wanting to be isolated. Don't want to be, go out in public and do what and meet people and have conversations with people. I feel that, no, I don't want to go there or whatever. So I'm missing out on something, whatever that's taken away from my personality. So I'm not going out there being friends. I'm not being social. Whatever. The schizophrenia is making me, when I hear a voice, the voice tells me to do something. If I stop what, I normally do when I'm on it at feeling normal, like 5 minutes before it or whatever, I'll be ready to go, and I feel this voice telling me, don't go out there. They hate you. They're gonna make fun out of you. And if I believe it and I don't do, and I'm not able to interact with people, I'm not able to go out there and have conversations with people, it's a negative symptom. It's taken away from my personality. If I don't want to talk to someone, that's negative. That's taken away. But that's what negative is. Negative is taken away. Positive is adding something to it. So I feel it's negative sometimes, but I have to approach myself, I have to motivate myself to go out and be around someone. And majority of the time, they're not what the voices say when I go out there. And if I do it, the voices are totally wrong. The voices are totally wrong, on the situation or the event or anything else, that would tell me, people are gonna laugh at you. People don't want you around. So I don't go around and I don't do things, that my normal personality would do. That is negative symptoms. And they can affect you in schizophrenic. And, they bring depression, on it. Making you feel sad, making you feel unwanted. Making you not care about what people think or stuff like that. Or wanting bad thoughts or whatever about people. That's negative symptoms, people. Okay, you may ask, where does schizophrenic come from? Now, there's two factors, well, there's three factors. There's genetic, there's environment, and if you take drugs, heavy drugs or whatever, you can have schizophrenia symptoms if you take the drug. So like genetic, you may get it from if the gene is in your parents, like my dad. My dad was an evil person. My dad was a real evil person. He said, you're saying this, you're thinking this, and there ain't no way that, that was said or that's thought. And, I'm looking at my dad when I was little and thinking, where did that come from? That you just said that someone's, doing this or doing that, and ain't no evidence to prove that they're doing that. So I think I got schizophrenic, the gene from my dad, because my dad was out there. And he was always saying, people are doing this, people are doing that. And, there's no evidence that people are doing that. There ain't no way that people aren't doing it. You can tell by, facts and what's going on that people are not doing that. People are not saying, this or doing this. And, there is another factor, environment. My dad beat the shit out of my mom all the time. We got whoopings all the time. We never had a stable household. We was always moving around. I was never really have to have, good friends. I was cool with a person, but I never built that friendship. Never lived in a place long enough to have friends before I moved to town. So, I had to do things. I had to, my way of life and the things that I had to do as a kid, were so crazy. Because I had to do adult things. I had to, when I was little, I worked for the carnival. So I had to work for the carnival. And I had to make money. If we didn't have money, we stayed in a tent at the campground. We didn't, we didn't eat nothing. We had to go to the river or the lake or the pond or whatever and catch fish and crab. If we caught fish and crab, we ate good. If not, I didn't eat so good. I felt really bad. And, my stomach would hurt so bad that, it will hurt. It feels like, I can hardly breathe. And, all I hear is my stomach rumbling. So when I was little, I had to do things that in no way, shape, or form another kid my age should have to do. But I had to do it to provide for the family. Because if my dad didn't make money, we was in up creek without a paddle. I knew we would go hungry. So I had to make the money. And, I had to give it to my dad. So that way we can go to the grocery store and get bread, lunch meat, and make a sandwich. If I made a good amount of money, we would be able to go to a restaurant. But we didn't do that a lot. So, I had a very, very rough childhood. My dad was very violent. He would always use racial words. He would never let us have fun. We never stayed in one place like I said, to make friends or anything like that. I had to do things that I know at no time a young kid should have to do. But I had to do it, and I had to step up, and I had to provide for a family. I had to pay, for getting stuff. If we didn't get it stuff, we went without. And I didn't like that fact. So I had to do things that, were traumatic, whatever. I was never able to be a kid, and have fun, have a care and reward. I had to do things that a kid my age, when I was with the carnival, shouldn't have to do. So, that affected me. And I could have, caused the onset of schizophrenic. I'm not for sure if it was the onset, if it set me on that path or not, but I know my childhood was rough. Okay, people, now, I go to group therapy. I don't see a counselor or whatever, because what kind of a counselor would he do? Say that, I can't get from group. So I go to group. I go to group once a week. And, we talk about our problems. And, what the symptoms are. And, it's a lot of people that, go there that, they have the same problems that I got. They hear voices. They hallucinate. They have it all like me. So it's good when I'm able to go and I'm able to be around people that have the same problems. And, sometimes you can learn from them that, they're a coping skill. A coping skill is how you get over, your paranoia. Like, if you hear a voice, and a voice is talking to you, you can do, you can think positive. You can do different things to get your mind off the voices or the anxiety or, anything like that. And it works for everybody. You can have, I have schizophrenia. You may have schizoaffective, and the coping skills may work for you. You may have bipolar, and the coping skills will work for you. So the coping skills can work for a lot of people, and it just isn't for schizophrenic. So I go to group, and I talk about my problems or whatever, and the lady, she says, well, have you tried this, have you tried that? It works for people or whatever, and they work for you. So, I learn different coping skills and learn how to, think straight and not let the voices or the personalities or anything, the feelings, the hallucinations control me. I'm able to go there and I'm able to learn, like I said, learn from other people that, how they deal with it. They have the same problem I have. They have hallucinations, illusions, voices. Okay, people, that's my story about schizophrenia and mental illness. It is a serious thing. You don't have to let it, impact who you are as a person. There's always ways you can help. Go see someone, talk to someone, see a doctor. Don't let mental illness win. The devil trying to give you a bunch of stuff to impact you or whatever. But if you feel you're not feeling good or you're having thoughts, get help. Because you're not alone. There's other people dealing with it. And if you don't get help, it may get worse. You may become somebody that no one wants to be around. But anyway, like I said, that's my video today about schizophrenia and mental illness. Peace out, homie. Have a good day. Very much will see you later. Peace out, people.